What's up, guys? It's me, and I'm gonna give you a tour of my ocean line I was talking about the last video I sent a couple hours ago. I also built some well different holes. I just copied and pasted the hole. So if I have to fix the ship, it's not a pain, and also I can use the holes as a template to build battleships and stuff, which will be important because my cousin's nation is right about here. He created a patch of land, but he didn't really do anything. I guess he owns this village. He's gonna build some crazy stuff. I showed him the latest features of this mod, and he immediately went on designing a guided ballistic missile, which is um, well concerning. Well, here's the first. I forgot what this was called. Just called bow. We're gonna call this the bow because it's literally the name. It has a special name, I swear. Well, here's the anchor chains, which I realistically connected to two iron blocks, and I just felt, assuming they're heavy enough. Well, it's just for looks, not like functionality. My mod doesn't have any anchors in it. I might add it soon. Not now. I'm busy. And here we can see the promenade deck, the lifeboats hanging from the sides. I did not do that. And if we move upstairs, we can see our bridge. The bridge is the place to control pretty much everything. I did plan on adding like a second wheelhouse, but I didn't really have space because the funnel was covering it. I didn't want to break the realism. And we can see our officers and these intruders. Tyrone took the barrels because the barrels where I store my vessel key and other important mod stuff. Still not gonna add textures. Tyrone is actually, well, when it's on a villager, it sounds weird. Well, here's our officers. This is the only officer model I could find. Literally a Wehrmacht officer. So we'll have to stick with that. Imagine this is completely fictional. And we just wear grey instead of black. And the no ideology doesn't exist. If we look down here, we can see the whole stairwell and the skylight, where during the day sunlight is meant to go inside, so it doesn't look so depressing inside. And here's our skylight and ventilation for the engine room, which we'll get to later. And here is our third and final skylight for the cafeteria. This ship is meant to be a long-haul ship, so we're gonna have to save up on space and focus on practicality instead of luxury, you know. If you look at the bridge, you can see that I tried to make a telegraph. You know those lever things, you just and then there's like a tiny arrow in the engine room's telegraph that moves to the direction you set the lever in the bridge. That means the signal is sent and the engine room can see what order you gave them. And when the engine room, for example, speeds up the engines, you set full ahead, they will switch the lever on their side to the direction of the arrow, which will bring the little arrow on the bridge to the direction of the lever. So this means the order is confirmed and applied. I forgot how lighting, which is funny. And this is literally how telegraph communication between the engine room and the bridge works. This is essentially a technique used in the older days, the age of steam, since they didn't have the radio technology that common until like after World War II. Because I visited a battleship before, HMS Belfast in the River Thames, and it had those telegraphs too. Well, enough yapping. If we move down here, here's a bar area and couches for, well, businessmen in their 50s to sit, drink, and talk about politics. Literally what they did at the time. But this is an alternate Minecraft reality, I guess. And if we move over here, here's our cafeteria. This is meant to be multi-purpose for both breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all that stuff. As I said, this is a long haul ship, so we're saving up on space, and I'm planning on adding an extra place over here for like the backside steering thing. I forgot what it was called. By the way, this is called funnily the poop deck, which is literally its name. I'm not even joking around. It's called the poop deck. Be mature, lads. If we move down here, I can't show you the propellers if I go downstairs, so I'm just gonna show it now. Here's the propellers. The propeller shaft, literally a copper line that stretches across the engines, which are also most realistically made as possible for Minecraft. I decided I'm gonna connect the I forgot what it was called, the blades of the propeller using an iron trapdoor, because if I don't connect them, they won't even attach to the ship when I compile it. And it won't move with the ship. And yes, you heard it right, this thing moves. Anyways, let's just make our way downstairs for the passenger spaces. And finally, the exciting part, the engines. If we check this place out, this is meant to be uh, second class, I guess. Like normal. There's no first class in the ship because reason one, I couldn't fit it in. Reason two, this is a long haul ship and nobody cares about luxury. You're gonna be seasick the whole way. You might better just be second class or steerage. Here's our amazingly made leg space rooms at the. Is this the front or the back of the ship? I need to check. This is indeed the front of the ship. With terrible leg space. And this is just the crew areas. And if we move backwards, we will see that this place is meant to contain the boilers. We can see the firemen. They were called the firemen or stokers. Stokers/firemen were the people, usually foreign migrants, if in Britain, that loaded up coal to the boilers all day in menacing conditions. These places would get really stuffy since the old ventilation systems were not as developed as right now, so they wouldn't just be able to install an AC over here because it didn't really exist. They used to have these, which I didn't build on this ship. You know those the pipes that look towards where the ship front is? It's so when the ship moves, it can take in the air and just blow it in the engine rooms. So well, the fireman and the engineers don't suffocate. Okay, if we move over here, here's the steerage. Dorian. It's his room now. We can see the steerage class areas. If I am not losing my mind. Yeah, we are at the front. Never mind. I knew something was off. This is a roommate. I keep on mixing this door up with like a hallway door. I really messed up with the design of the interiors. If we move all the way to the back, we can find better rooms for better paying, well, passengers. And here's the steerage. Actually, now thinking this might just be the second class because, never mind. I was about to say these rooms are better, and then I saw this room and decided no, that's not gonna happen. All the quality is similar, there's no special treatment because this is a long haul ship and we want practicality. And here's our gate, which I forgot to get the key for. So I'm gonna do that sometime else and maybe show it later. Enough with yapping. If we move to the front, this is the front, right? Yes, this is the front hallway and crew only. Here's our crew members just chilling, they're off duty, and you can see the anchor chains. This is like more like a utility place and also a place where I can hide redstone blocks without making it look weird. Because for my mod, we need redstone blocks to push the ship. The ship is 12,000 blocks, so we need a lot of redstone blocks to move this around. Each redstone block can move 40 blocks, including its own weight, so that's 39 tons. Which is not really enough to push a 12,000 block ship. We just move down and here's more hidden redstone. Essentially, this ship blew up. How this thing blew up is because when the ship moved really fast, the redstone signal kind of stayed where it is. There's like a delay when the redstone signal disappears, which did not happen. During the delay, the redstone signal got close enough to the TNT that it detonated, blowing up the whole front section and somehow blowing up the back too. Which is extremely annoying. I had to fix it by getting a new copy and all that. So I put glass because I know glass doesn't transmit redstone signals. Here's a fact. So this doesn't happen again. Hopefully. I don't want the ship to blow up. Here's our coal storage. During long haul voyages, they used to have a lot of coal on the ship. I'm talking about multiple thousands of tons. Since these boilers are essentially monsters in terms of burning coal, these lads will burn tons of coal a day just to get the ship moving full ahead and keeping the passengers warm. These coal will usually be stored in between bulks. So these are watertight bulkheads. I forgot what they were called. These are just watertight walls. And there will be two of them with a few meters of space in between, and the coal will be stuffed there. This will help in ballast and also fueling the ship for essentially weeks, maybe just days, if it's long haul but not as long. As you can see, I stuffed some coal over here just for realism. And these guys, well, I did tell you guys, they're stalker slash fireman. I explained to you already, I think. If I'm not mixing this up with the last recording I did. And here's more coal. These guys are not meant to be here. So, let's move on to the exciting part, the triple expansion steam engines. Well, at least as close as I can get in Minecraft. And in this tight of a space, with my mod limitations of size. As you can see, I hid some redstone over here as well to maximize the ship's speed, which is also extremely slow because of the lag the size of the steam creates. I designed this mod so it can handle smaller ships, not as large as this, but here we go. So these boilers, when they burn, they will generate heat, a lot of heat. And there will be water on top of the boilers, like top half will be full of water, and the water will be essentially heated up by the burning coal, which will boil the water in immense temperatures. And since they use the high surface area to volume, how do I explain this? So essentially the heated place, there will be rods that heated up the water, and since there are multiple rods, there's a much more surface area contacting the water, which will boil the water faster. So the water boiling fast will get taken on pipes in like immense pressures. I think it was I forgot the measurements. Yeah, I forgot the name for it. My brain is just not braining right now. Yeah, that pressure would get. It was 50 something. 50 something. I forgot the name of the unit. I know this stuff. I'm a ship guy. And this high pressure steam will get taken to the engines. The reason I have ventilation on the engines too, instead of only the boiler room, is because these engines will also get extremely hot. The steam will get taken into the engines to the piston cylinders. In the cylinders, there will be pistons, which are just cylinders that are inside the piston cylinders that will get pushed by the high pressure steam. When they're pushed, there will be another mechanism I can't explain right now with just talking. When this, for example, when this guy pushes down the piston, it will push these hands down, and this will spin the hands over here. And when this will essentially force this guy to let me revert back. So this guy pushes down, this guy moves up, but this guy wants to have more pressure in it. So this guy pushes down, pushing this guy up, since the pressure is released from exit pipes. This guy will have lesser pressure, which will allow it to be pushed upwards, and then it will gain more pressure and push it downwards, pushing this guy up again, and repeat. This is one type. The other type is the part where this guy pushes this guy down, this guy gets up and blocks the steam race on the top side of the piston. So the top side wouldn't have any more steam input. It wouldn't be able to push. Since that side is blocked, this side would open up because the mechanism moves. And the pressure would fill on this side, raising the piston back up. And then down, and then up, and then down, and then up, and that's literally how it works. And in actual steam ships, there will be, most of them at least, there will be an outlet which would lead to a condenser which I did not build, because I need engine space, redstone blocks. So this will, the condenser will condense the water back into boilable water and pretty much just recycle the water in the ship just to be sent back to the boilers. And if you move down here, well, I already showed you this is the actual engines of the ship according to my mod. This is just for like statics, design, and looks, all that stuff. And there will be this guy that responds to the telegraph I was explaining earlier, which I didn't build again. Because I'm just a forgetful guy. And that's literally, there will be a skylight in most ships. In most steamers, you'll be able to see down to the engine room. But some of them you couldn't. And that's literally it. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.